Hi everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Sol, and in this video I'd like to have a look at the Paladin class and specifically in the Night Fox Yoho fight. I'll go through some basic stuff about the Paladin and the gameplay style, and also some stuff about the mechanics of the fight in order to learn how to improve if that's what you're looking for. My Paladin is currently 1400. So I managed to push it this week. I'm very happy about that. The build that I'm going for is swiftness and specialization. Swiftness, what this does is it gives you movement speed and cooldown reduction on all of your spells, and specialization helps with filling up your special meter, and also increases some damage from your skills and from the efficiency of some of your buffs. For engravings, I went for Awakening and Blessed Aura. This is like the standard support stuff that you're going for. So Awakening is the standard support one. Blessed Aura is the Paladin specific one. And as a third engraving, I went for Expert. This helps with the low specialization number, because Expert increases the efficiency of my shields, which makes my sustainability a lot higher on my teammates. It's very easy to reach 3 engravings whenever you're 1370 plus, because you unlock the legendary accessories, so you don't really have to invest a lot of gold into this. The stone that I have is pretty basic. It's 6/6, so it's nothing really special, and you can just get to these 3 engravings as soon as you are 1370 for sure. For cards, I'm not using anything special, just a health increase set, and I'm really slacking on gems, so nothing really special on that side. Let's just jump into it. We'll jump into Night Fox, and we'll see how the fight progresses. Okay, so we've located the target. Because you have a lot of swiftness, you're probably gonna be the first one to get there, so you can just start doing the basic stuff, the basic rotation. I immediately start by using my Wrath of God, which applies a dot. People didn't see it. My Wrath of God, which applies a dot on the boss, and also a bleed. Then I go through my buffs and try to have uptime on that on those two as well. I'll have them pop up on the screen as I speak about them. And I try to use my awakening skill like as soon as possible, because of all the swiftness that I have, I get it back pretty quick, so I can just have multiple awakening uses within the same fight, and at the same time you get your blessed aura really quick, so you can use it to buff your allies as soon as possible. All right, so the basic rotation is the same. I just get my my light shock on the boss, and make sure that I have uptime on that, and then I just go through my my sword attacks and also my buffs for my teammates. Okay, there we go. We can use the shields whenever there's like big damage incoming. In this case, all of them were turned because they didn't run out of the circle. So I just wanted to make sure that they're protected and they don't take damage, so I shielded everybody as they were incapacitated. All right, let's see. You can use the God's Hand Law, as you saw from a distance, on your teammates whenever they're in they're about to take damage or something, to slightly protect them and give them some time to react, maybe pop a potion or try to run from the mechanic. Now keep in mind that the 2 buffs that you have, which are Wrath of God and the Heavenly Blessings, they do not stack, so you do not want to have them overlapping. Make sure that if you use one, you wait for a few seconds until the buff on your allies disappears, and then you can use the other one. You'll try to alternate them to make sure that you have as much uptime as possible of that buff on your allies. Now my awakening skill is back up, so I'm just going to use it. This really helps the team. As I was saying, it fills up your meter, and also whenever people see the big shield on them, they are very comfortable to do DPS and very comfortable to like maybe sit in mechanics or something. So it's good to have that up and give people the feel that they can just focus on their DPS or on their rotation. Now in terms of mechanics from the boss, what I try to do is always stay in front of the boss and position myself in such a way that I'm in front. This really helps everybody else, all the other DPS people, to position and DPS the boss accordingly. They need to be on the back or something like that. Well, this is a stagger mechanic, so we need to stagger the boss before it expires. If we fail that stagger, the boss turns everybody into foxes, so we become incapacitated and we can't do damage and all of that. Now, the fight just progresses pretty much the same. As you can see, the fox just drops a bunch of meteors and stuff like that. Try to dodge them. The blue meteors knock you down, so those are the most important ones to dodge. The red ones just do damage, so if you must, just choose red over blue. Okay, this map is pretty small, so I'm not going to use flares. We can just run really quick and find the boss wherever it went. There it is. Again, the first thing that I do when I get back, I get my bleed on it, and then I get the buff to my teammates. Now this would have been a good opportunity for me to use shields just to make sure that people don't get their life drained from that meteor shower, but either way, I'm gonna have my awakening skill back up, so I'm not really stressed about HP. I'll just use it here, and it'll also give me blessed aura. That's a lot of sustain back to the team. Big shields and also healing from the blessed aura. Keep in mind that blessed aura also buffs the party's damage, so make sure that you are keeping people within your range. Whenever she gets knocked in this last phase, you need to destroy the tails, as we did there. Whenever you do that, she takes increased damage for the remainder of the fight, so it's a good thing to make sure you're positioned behind her and use destruction spells or destruction bomb if you'd like on the tails. Okay, I'll get the bleed back on. I'll get the buff on my team. She's knocked again, so we are going to hit the tail again. There we go. Make sure you are aiming your skills correctly if you want to hit the spot. There's a lot of situations where I missed my my skills, so we failed to cut the tails. This is one of the last mechanics that she does. She's going to be spawning these tornadoes. If you get hit by these, you are going to be trapped, like somebody's already pinging that they were trapped. So let's go help them out. If we do not break them out in time, they are going to be turned into they died anyways. They're going to be turned into one of the foxes, and for 12 seconds or something like that, so they can't use any skills. Okay, we broke another one of her tails, which means there's going to be more damage taken, which is fun. And we can just do rotations. I'm using my God's Hand Law whenever it's needed to give a small shield to any one of my allies. We're gonna have Awakening skill ready again. I tried to counter there, but it didn't work. We're gonna have the Awakening skill again, so let's just use that to make sure. This is a good moment to use it, just because she's doing a large AoE to everybody, so helping people not take damage from a spell like that, it's a good thing to do. Okay, we didn't manage to break the tails there. That's fine. Let's just continue. She should be dead here pretty soon. Yeah, there we go. So that was I want to say pretty easy. I think only one death on the board or something like that, so that's a victory in my book. We're gonna do it again, and maybe this time go over some of the details of the fight a bit more, but I'm pretty confident that we got the MVP. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much how we can secure an MVP and get a lot of contribution on these points. Let's just go at it one more time and then go through the process again and make sure that we get this understood. Now, it's a paladin is a pretty easy class to play. I'm pretty sure that you already figured that out. The rotation isn't too bad. As I was saying, you're just trying to keep your dots on the boss and your buffs on your party. Make sure you don't overlap the two buffs that you get from Wrath of God and Heavenly Blessings. And also save your shields whenever you know there's going to be damage coming. Save your shield and use the shield before the damage hits, and awakening skill and all of that. Okay, there we go. Managed to hit a counter. So I debuffed the boss, I buffed my party, and then I also use the awakening skill, which is going to increase my meter. So I'm going to be able to use my ultimate ability or whatever, my specialty skill pretty soon, and buff the party even more, buff their damage. We just dodge her here whenever she jumps. Then we are gonna get back in her face. Now we don't have we had a gun lancer in the party before. We don't have one now, so it's a bit more important for me to stick in front of the boss if I want to help my team position better and do DPS and whatever. So I'm gonna make an effort to sit in front of the boss a bit more in this round. If you get knocked down, she usually changes focus from you to somebody else, so try not to get knocked down. That's gonna help you. There we go. So I'm just gonna keep buffs up on the party, debuff up on the boss, and we just do this dance. Okay, if I see that she's trying to do some spell or something like that, or somebody's knocked down and is about to get hit by something, I can always just throw my God Sentinel on them and give them a bit of time to react, or maybe take a bit less damage, so they can they have the time to pop a potion or something like that. Now keep in mind that this has a pretty large radius, so maybe try to hit multiple of your allies with it, or maybe even hit one ally and hit the boss as well for a bit of extra damage on the boss. Okay, we managed to find it. You can just use your movement skills to get back in position. I am going to first get my debuff on the boss, then we can buff the party, and then we can use the awakening skill again as it's off cooldown. This ensures that I fill up the specialty meter, and I'm going to be able to also pop the specialty skill as well. This helps sustain the party and also buffs their damage, as I was saying. So I want to have that up as much as possible, which is why I'm also spamming the awakening skill and getting that out there. Now, okay, I'm getting knocked down again. This is fine. Let's try to get in front of the boss again so that she doesn't change position too much, and people can just hit from hit from behind if they need to do that for their class or whatever. Okay, I'm getting a bit beat down here. I should focus. Okay, we need to break the stagger again. I'm going to use my big stagger skills and then use the potion as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be needed, but it's better to be safe than sorry. If we don't get this stagger, then she turns everybody into foxes, and then you can't control your character. And okay, holy shit, that was so good. So I dashed in front of the boss and staggered her. Keep in mind, if you want to hit your you want to make it easier for your stagger skills to hit, you can just use a Gale Wind rune on your favorite stagger skill, and it's going to make it be faster. So it's going to help with your reaction time whenever you see the boss turning blue, and it's time to stagger. I don't know if I have Gale Wind on this one, just because the skill that I use is really quick. It's a very nice sword attack, so I don't really feel like I need Gale Wind on it. It's already pretty quick, but there are other characters that I use it on, and it's really fucking useful. So keep it in mind. That'll help you hit more of your staggers in the future. Now I'm gonna hit my awakening skill again. I need to sustain the party, so we're gonna also heal them with the blessed aura. This buffs their damage as well, so I try to make sure that I cover everybody. The boss is gonna get staggered here again, so I'm gonna start hitting the tails. Everybody else did the same, so we broke one of her tails, which means that she's gonna take increased damage from now on, which is always a nice thing. Okay, keep in mind that these two skills are interruptible by the boss. So if you get hit by something as you're casting them, the effect is not going to go off, and then you're not going to be able to buff your party. So what you want to do is get a Gale Wind rune on them as well to make sure that their cast animation is shorter, and therefore it's going to be harder to get interrupted while you're casting that spell, and it'll give you an increase on uptime on these buffs on your party. Okay, she shouldn't have too much HP left, maybe like 10% or something like that. Okay, this is the skill, the other mechanic that she does. You have to run away. I try to stay like in line so I can dodge the tornadoes and get back on the boss as quickly as possible. This is a bit easier for me because I have a lot of swiftness. But if you don't have the swiftness, okay, I didn't get back there in time. If you don't have the swiftness, then you can just run far away, and the tornadoes are never going to reach you, and then you can just get back in range. I'm not really concerned with healing as long as I do a good job of dodging stuff here. But I might actually die. No, I'm gonna have the awakening skill back in a few seconds. I'm gonna use that immediately. Then I'll have the specialty meter up, and she died anyways. So in terms of sustainability, the paladin is really excellent. This is why most of the time, this is why you get MVP in your party, is because you have huge amounts of sustainability. People don't really need to use potions whenever they have a good support in their group, and there we go. We got an MVP again, and that's basically why that happens. So I hope you people find this useful, and if there's something else that you'd like to see or something like that, you can drop a comment to the video that I'm gonna post. I'm gonna try to put out some more content about the paladin, maybe some other abyss dungeons or the Argos fight and stuff like that. So I'll try to get those out as time goes on. But at this point, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next.